You still got Zach Wilson.
I still got him. Oh my goodness, I completely forgot to change that. I'm thinking this entire time, I'm like, Jesus, is that Zach Wilson? Is that number 2, Zach Wilson? What is he doing
twice.
here?
You got him twice in there.
I got him twice. Get him out of here. Get him out of here. I need the video of Corey Davis to Mike White to Corey Davis 4th down play.
Yeah.
Absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
But it's episode 8. We've been doing this for a while.
What's up, bro?
Let's go ahead and
Here we go.
introduce ourselves to those who do not know us. I'm Jude, and this is Italy Jet, my co-host. How's it going, man?
Dude, I am just tired. I'm tired. I mean, look at what's happening though. Like it sucks with the Vikings. I'm gonna hop right on into this. I hope you're well. I think you're well. I think you're doing okay. We're on Jude's channel. You can follow me at Italy Jet, and you can on social media platforms. You can follow my YouTube channel, everything MYG, on all social media platforms as well. We
also on the bottom.
Yep, it's all on the bottom. We love you. This is Jet's Duo Show, episode 8. You know, we're gonna be doing this next year. We're gonna be doing this in the off season as well. But yeah, the Vikings, it came down the wire, and I knew it would. People really thought we were gonna mow over their defense, and I'm over here like I wasn't worried, but at the same time, I was like, it's a fucking Vikings. Sorry, excuse my language, but it's the Vikings. Like, this is a team that you don't slack around. Like, and this is a true test too. It's a true test to see where we're at. Now they're 10-2. Us two are the best fourth quarter teams in the NFL. And it was a shootout. It was a great game. Felt like a playoff game, to be honest. I almost threw my TV. My wife would have been so pissed because we got it for free. So it's one of those things where I can't do that. But overall, there were a lot of mistakes, but there was also a lot of good things. The defense slacked at times. We couldn't tackle at times. Joyner, what is he doing? And it's one of those things where we have to catch the ball. No one want to catch the ball on defense or something, or tackling but first quarter, but then third, fourth, and fifth quarter, we showed up at the right times and defense came up huge. Now I'm going to go on the offensive side. Mike White, it's his job to lose, but man, he's got to tell. You know what he's doing. Everybody knows what he's about to do, whether it's a quarterback sneak, which wide receiver he's going to focus on, where he's going to dump pass it on the right, but he keeps throwing it to the side. Except that Corey Davis one, that was great. But when he flew over the Garrett Wilson, I was like, oh my God.
Had him.
Crap. That we could have won the game.
Could have
won the game right there and then. But overall, though, the Berrios one, people can say, always needs to catch that. Yeah, Berrios does need to catch that because we're paying him a lot of money to do it. But that ball was not on target, too. Like, people got to remember that. Like, it was a good throw for what he did at the time. But overall, I'm 50-50 about it. But we should have won. I'm going to be honest. We shut down Cousins. They did make us look bad a few times with Justin Jefferson, with Thielen had a couple catches. Cook was a dog. And then Hawkinson had 2 catches. But, overall, it's something to work with. It's still Mike White's job to lose. I think it's going to be a very tough game in Buffalo on Sunday. It's going to be very interesting, Jude. This is not a game. People keep saying, this is not a must-win or it is a must-win. My personal opinion, every game now should be a must-win.
Right.
Every game is important starting from day 1 to day 18, or 17, whatever you want to call it. But it's important because we still got tough teams to play against. So overall, I think the Vikings were a good test, and I think we passed a little bit, with the C+, because I think we should have won, but it's still gut. It's still gutty because it is the Vikings. It was a test. So have everyone get better. LaFleur get better. Offense needs to be better. The red zone needs to be better. Someone needs to just put sticky things on their gloves or something to have them catch the ball. and the tackle, man. Jeez. But overall, I like what I'm seeing. If we had Zach Wilson in there, it definitely would have been worse. So I like the baby steps to get there. But then some people like you, Jude, I know Paul was saying this in our last pod. We're done with baby steps. Let's win now. I get it. I get it. But it's something to work off of, and I'm that's very reassuring for me. It's something we can work off of.
And as you mentioned, this was Mike White's second start of the season. Maybe you mentioned that in our last podcast. Back to back. It's hard to remember when we said what.
Right.
But remember, you said at one point today, this was Mike White's second start of the season.
Yeah, I did say that. Yeah.
I mean, you're right. Mike White, while he's 4-year NFL veteran, this was his second start of the season and his fifth start in his entire NFL career. Zach Wilson has more starts under his belt. Joe Flacco has more starts under his belt. I mean, Mike White is still kind of a rookie type of player in the sense that he hasn't really received a lot of game action. So he's still kind of getting used to all of this, NFL game. And while I don't actually think he played bad, I mean, his 2 interceptions, I mean, on the stat sheet, it's like, man, he threw 2 interceptions. That sucks. But those 2 interceptions weren't his fault. One was tipped, and one he just had to throw. It's 4th and 10, 16 seconds left. You got to get a first down. You got to get a touchdown to win the game, and no one was open. Mike White just had to throw it to someone, and it busted the defense. I mean, there's nothing you could do about that. So I don't really think the 2 interceptions were his fault. He threw for 369 yards. That's a great stat line. No touchdown.
Stuff's crazy, man.
I mean,
like he threw way too much again.
Right. Like, I mean, over 300 yards. Zach Wilson has done that one time in his entire career.
Yeah.
Mike White's done it the past 2 games, back-to-back games. The Jets offense to get things going when Mike White is at quarterback. And it's just, I mean, as you said, this was a game the New York Jets should have won. You look at this, the box scores, and you look at everything outside of the actual game score, the New York Jets were the better team on paper in this game. But we had a few mishaps in the first half that just really killed us. I mean, the penalties on that one scoring drive the Minnesota Vikings had were absolutely huge. I mean, without those penalties, the New York Jets were just completely locking down the Minnesota Vikings. They weren't going to be able to move the ball. And those penalties gave the Vikings a lot of free first downs. And the run game, also the run defense was kind of a little out of the water. It wasn't where it normally is. And against Buffalo, it's kind of been getting hot running the football as of late. I mean, we could potentially see Buffalo do some sneaky stuff running the football against us, but we'll talk about that later. But back on Minnesota, it's just we had a few defensive mishaps here and there. We had a lot of penalties in the first half that cost us. And
especially. We forgot to talk about Fant with the penalty. Oh. Hey, John. Good to see you, buddy. Hey, John.
How's it going, man? Good to see you back in here. But, I mean, it's just penalties killed us, and also 2 of Minnesota's points, or not 2 of them, 6 of Minnesota's points, both of the field goals they made were because the New York Jets gave the ball in their own territory. We went forward on 4th and 2 at the end of that.
And props to Greg Zuerlein.
Right. I mean, props to Greg Zuerlein for making that 60-yard field goal. But if the New York Jets don't go for 4th and 2 right there, we punt the ball off to Minnesota. The defense probably gets stopped right there, meaning Minnesota just punts it back off to us. We do what we want with the ball, but that takes 3 points off the board. And if Mike White doesn't throw the interception or if it doesn't get tipped, that also takes 3 points off the board. Minnesota only has 21 points scored. The New York Jets have 22. We win the football game. So it's just a lot of interesting things, a lot of things you could take away from this game, a lot of ifs and buts that, you could say if this happened, if Mike White would have hit Garrett Wilson in stride, the New York Jets would have won the game. It's just so many things that could have went our way that didn't, and that's why we lost the football game. But we have a great chance to do the things that we should have done against Minnesota this week against the Buffalo Bills. Before we talk about that, we got to talk about a couple in-house things first, because Max Mitchell, he just got placed on the NFI list today. Maybe it's because of an illness. Maybe it's because of something that happened off the field. Who knows? But speaking of illnesses, the New York Jets just can't catch a break first off, tackles injuries. That's killer. We can't catch a break in that sense. We also got the flu. Minnesota Vikings players also have the flu, so it's something going on right there. But, DJ Reed, Michael Clemens, and a few others got the flu. Not great. So, whenever you heard this news, whenever you heard Max Mitchell's on the NFI list, what's your reaction?
Just can't catch a break. We have been like that for over a decade. So this doesn't surprise me. The football gods are always going to have something to do with us, trying to get us to slow down. I don't freaking know, but it sucks. It sucks,
It
but it's
sucks.
also like it's just another hurdle. It's another hurdle. I get it, but it sucks, man. But I think we'll be fine. We had depth with Mitchell. I hope he's okay. I wish him the best of luck. And I hope he's back next season. I mean, I think he will, but like whatever comes out, I hope it's not that serious. But he will be out for the season. But we got depth. We got LDT coming back. We got
Fan thrown into the mix now too.
yeah, Fant is going to probably be our starter. We got Remmers. I've been preaching to get Remmers in there. He's a former Super Bowl champion. So like and also LDT is too. Like they're both Super
Right.
Bowl champions with
On the
Chiefs. So
same
like
team.
yeah, and on the same line too. So like I'm happy. I want them. I want them in there. Like I want them to be the backups. It's time to get them some playing time. Fant in there too. Even though it sucks about Mitchell, but I'm happy that we got the depth, and I've always been the next man up. The flu, I mean, we've been having flu issues for about a little bit, since with the past few days. So I hope it clears up at the end of the week. But overall, I'm not worried about the Mitchell injury, but I wish Mitchell the best of luck.
And as John mentions right here, Mitchell concerns me. I hope it's not a mental health issue. We have seen Alex Lewis. I don't know if you remember him, but he was placed on the NFI back in 2020 because he was going through some mental health stuff. And his Instagram is like private now. I mean, it's kind of sad what happened to Alex Lewis because I don't think he's with his girlfriend anymore. I mean, it's just a lot of stuff that happened to Alex Lewis, and looks like he's in a great place now. I think he's a pilot or something. I mean, it looks like things are going great for Alex Lewis, but what happens with Max Mitchell? Maybe it's a mental health issue. I mean, it's possible just looking at his interviews and, looking at, everything that's been going on. The Jets are winning. I don't necessarily think it's a mental health issue. I mean, of course, I'm not Max Mitchell. I don't know what's going on. I mean, people can seem one way, but not act like outside of, what they show online and everything, they could be completely different. So maybe, hopefully not, this is what's going on with Max Mitchell right now. But it's definitely something that happened off the field. Could have been just an injury. He could have been playing with his dog and twisted his ankle for all we know. I mean, who knows what this Max Mitchell injury could be? And, John also mentioned here, it's crazy what we've been through on this offensive line. I mean, you're right. It's absolutely
Can't
crazy.
catch a break.
We just can't catch a break. Like,
yeah.
The injuries are piling and piling up.
Yeah.
But, I mean, as I mentioned on the last podcast, Mitchell, Cedric, Ogwabwe. I'm super sorry for mispronouncing the name.
Ogwabwe, something like that.
It's something like that.
I just say Cedric O. Cedric O.
Cedric O. And I know you're not watching the Cedric, but sorry for mispronouncing your name.
Yeah.
And
sorry about that, buddy.
All this other stuff. I mean, none of those players that filled in for us at tackle this season, even Elijah Vera-Tucker, while he did a great job, he wasn't supposed to play tackle for it this year.
Right.
The tackles were supposed to be Mekhi Becton and George Fant. Becton got hurt. We signed Dwayne Brown. That's who our two projected starters on the offensive line tackles were heading into week one. Then everything started happening. But now we're at a point to where both of our starters are back. So maybe it's for the best. Maybe it's not. But we got both of our starters playing. And it sucks we have all these backups playing, but they're backups. And we got the starters on the field now, and I think that's the most important thing. Because while, it looks like, Mitchell's back on NFI, you look at all these charts people are posting on Twitter of all the offensive linemen we have on, IR. It's just like, wow, the Jets have suffered a bunch. But if you think about it, we've also gotten healthy because both of our two started tackles are back. Playing with each other for probably like the first time this season. I think so. Because, this is the first time we've seen Dwayne Brown and George Fant on the field together outside of the, 2 quarters they played with each other against Minnesota. But starters are back in business, and hopefully that can be important for the New York Jets against the Buffalo Bills this week because we play them. We played the Buffalo Bills this week. Last time we played them week 9, we beat them. Do you think the upset happens again?
It's going to be a dogfight. It's not going to be easy. They're pissed last time. We messed up Allen with his shoulder. It's going to be there's going to be some revenge going on. There's going to be a lot of interesting matchups. Their injury guys come back, except for Von Miller is going to be out for the season. They had a successful surgery, but that's a big if for them. So it's no, sorry, it's not a big if for him. It's hard to replace Von Miller in this
Right.
position. So I don't know if the backups are going to come up big, or you never know with that. Milano, as you said earlier in the show, Let's Talk Sports, Milano was out today, but if he's not playing, woof, dang. But they got
Huge.
White and Poyer back, like you said, and it's going to be very interesting. Like this is not going to be a game where it's going to be a blowout game for me. I think it's going to be neck and neck. I did say 23-20 Jets. Now I'm thinking like 15-13 Jets now. Um, it's hard though because I keep going back and forth because Zerline in the cold is not that great. So, but in the dome, I say he was going to have a great game. He did 6 for
And he
6.
did.
I mean, I called that. But like overall, in the cold, it's going to see what happens. If Mike White cannot make the mistakes he did in the other game, he definitely gives us a better chance to win. But man, this is going to be a dogfight, man. I it's hard because every game is important, and this is a very important game. So I think I'm just gonna I think I'm gonna continue to change it, Jude. I'm just gonna continue to change it until Sunday morning. Um, for now, I'm gonna go 15-13 Jets. They win on a field goal.
And I'm thinking it's going to be a close game too. Both of these teams do have great defenses, but I just have a feeling that this is going to be one of those just shootout games. I mean, I don't know why, but I just have a feeling this is going to be a very high scoring game. And I once thought Buffalo was going to win this game 20-14. But thinking about it a bit more, I'm just like, man, I really do think this game is going to have a lot of points scored. Now, you did mention, we're playing in Buffalo. It's tough home atmosphere in Buffalo. Bills Mafia, they're absolutely relentless. But then at the same time, the New York Jets have been a really good road team this season. We only have 2 road losses on the year. We've been okay at home, but most of the time on the road we were dominant. There's one point where we were the best road team in the entire NFL. We didn't have any losses on the road at all heading into like week 10. It was a thing of work. But the past 2 weeks we caught up the road losses, but the New York Jets are a team that really don't face the pressure. We're okay under pressure. We don't really feel the effects of, all this home crowd, all Bills Mafia breaking tables. That doesn't phase us. We don't really care. We play great under all this stress. We play great in those type of environments.
And we don't give up. We
Right.
don't
We
give up.
don't
We're
give
always
up.
going to make it interesting till the very end. That's why the Vikings and Jets are the best fourth quarter team in the NFL.
Right. We always make it interesting to the very, very end. And we play great in the second half. And I do feel like our second half play will give us an advantage. And also, Von Miller not playing is huge because while Buffalo didn't have much of a pass rush last time they played us without Von Miller, the pass rush is even going to be a lot less effective because Buffalo on the season without Von Miller only has 23 sacks, which ranks very low in the NFL. With Von Miller, they got 31, which is
and the
kind of
rest
up
didn't
there.
help either. The rest
Right.
didn't help either.
Exactly. Without him, 23. So it's a big difference without Von Miller, but I don't feel like the New York Jets are able to do enough to get this win. I'm hoping for the upset, but I just don't think New York wins. And it's not that we're a bad team. We're just going toe-to-toe with the great one and one that's better than us. And I do think Buffalo wins this game 31-27. John got 2 back-to-back comments right here. Go ahead and read the first one. He says, we seem to be getting better every week. We have to clean up 3-and-1 situations as well as red zone play on both sides of the ball. I think I like Sauce on their best receiver in the end zone. And, definitely Sauce Gardner did a great job covering Stephon Diggs last time we played him. And actually, he did such a great job. They moved him in the slot. Try to get him working against Michael Carter, but Michael Carter shut him down as well.
Right.
And then he also said, good weather in this game, 40 degrees, so maybe it's not going to be as cold.
I heard it wasn't 40 degrees, but it could change. And weather changes every day. So, that'd be cool. A good atmosphere.
It would be cool if the weather is cool in Buffalo, but
it's snowing. Hey, all kinds of stuff going on right now with the Bills. Everything going on.
But I think it's time for our closing thoughts. What's your closing thoughts, man? It could be about literally anything about the Jets.
You can follow me. You can follow me on Italy Jet and everything MYJ and all social media platforms. Appreciate the support. This is my third podcast I'm doing today, and I got 2 more to go. So I'm doing 5 today, 1 tomorrow, 1 Friday, 3 Sundays. So it's gonna be a busy week. My sister's getting married. So Anna, if you're watching this, congratulations. But yeah, my closing thoughts are, man, it's gonna be a dogfight. Like I know I keep saying that, but like this is gonna come down the wire. Everyone's got to be perfect, and even if you make mistakes, you are going. You can't get burned again and again and again because this Bills team's going to capitalize. This Bills team's not going to mess around. Even if they do have Von Miller out or maybe possibly Milano out, it doesn't matter. If Mike White makes a little bit of the mistakes and overthrows people because he's not afraid to throw it, he just has to be a game manager. He has to be consistent. He has to know when to throw, put it on target. No throwing it here, no throwing it there, up here. Put it on target because you have one of the best weapons, all around weapons in the NFL. And LaFleur can get it together in the red zone and Mike White in the end zone, and he's got to work on his tells, But it's something to work off of. I'm really happy and very impressed with this Jets team. It's a great time to be a Jets fan.
Great time.
But yeah, let's go Jets on Sunday. It's going to be interesting.
In my closing thoughts, the thing to end on is Mike White has to get his revenge. Last time he played the Buffalo Bills,
Yeah,
he threw 4 interceptions. He looked terrible. He lost a starting job
That's
to
right.
Joe Flacco. I mean, at the time that was his starting job to lose. Eventually, we're gonna give it back to Zach Wilson, but he was gonna be the backup until he was healthy. And then, see you, John. Oh, see you next time, John. Mike White has to get his revenge. He can't throw 4 interceptions again, and he has to come up huge for us. But that's going to do it for today's show. Thank you to John. Appreciate you commenting, man. Really appreciate the support. But that's going to do it for today's show. I'm your host, Jude, signing off for now. We'll see you guys later.